Look at the experience. Carl pretty much out of a full level after that.
Oh, that's huge. Especially for a Shadow Fiend who relies on his levels to get kills and to get farm. And it's a pretty good position to be in. And meanwhile, his team is making a lot of space elsewhere for the Vengeful Spirit, for the Underlord, even in the top lane, who's a lot of farm himself.
All you gonna get here. Double raised.
Uh-oh. Telekinesis, but Ollie will just get clipped down by Chemo. Lumik's Qual is actually the last auto attack given to Carl. Not only does he get a kill on the DP, now he gets a kill on another. That's the Rubik. But he didn't have that third point in Necromastery, so he doesn't get up to the 26 stole, or the 28 souls. Nice. That was sick.
You see the other shrine now, it hogs that one. Jeez.
Yeah, I think you're alright with that if you're the Dire.
And though heading towards the helmet, the Dominator has heal it, but lane pressure and hold away. OD free farming again. So we're being in the safe lane's got the places to be.
Yeah.
Invisibility.
I mean, he's got the Soul Ring. He's got the item that gets him to farm. Although,
Big stack from Carl.
This is a big Indus rune if they can find the kill. Wave comes out, Telekinesis, he needs to stick, and he will, but he's dead anyway to the Purification. Great Indus rune from the Night Stalker, pretty lucky to get it. Not to mention he had phase boots as well, so some extra damage. They might be able to turn too. Grim's the one getting chased down on the Leshrac, but they don't want to dive the tier 1 tower, and I think that's probably a safe play.
Nice, dude.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Burrow Strike, but Chuan's got the Spirit Sight for the Sandstorm Magic Missile. This could be a lot of damage. The Fade Bolt, but here comes the Night Stalker. Lumik is going to get dropped down with one more auto attack, and they're going to lose another on Nando. Is that one of those Nando plays you were talking about earlier?
He's insane. He's a madman.
Run right into Exorcism. I know that's not his call. I think it's the Sand King that probably was like, we can get this kill. Maybe it was Nando's call. You never know.
Not enough damage between the two of them guys to kill. Especially with reinforcements coming in. Night Stalker's having quite the game. Got his phase boost. 4.5.
Oh, he's having a great old time. Night Stalker is crushing it as we speak. After dying a few times at the beginning of the game, he is well on his way back into it. He is ahead of the Omni Knight, actually, which I suppose isn't a surprise considering the kills he's gotten. The Omni Knight hasn't gotten any space in this bottom lane. Finally, he's getting some, but that might dwindle in the next few moments as Execration push their way into the enemy jungle. They'll find Ollie. It's a nice pickup if they can get it, but they are only 2 supports, and Ollie has stick charges, and they have a Night Stalker, and he actually might survive. He even goes for the aggressive null field for some reason instead of the defensive. I think he might. I don't know if he survives either way, but probably should have just been for the defense. I guess maybe they wanted the Night Stalker to get extra damage, but it's not much. Anyway. I suppose that's fine. Void coming out, he's got a Sandstorm. This time he might just sit in the Sandstorm. Well, he's got to wait half a second, get the bounty ring and run away. Burrow Strike was available. And so it's a slight advantage to Execration. They've died a few times. They've gotten a few kills. Experience-wise, it's Geek fan, but it is actually very close. About even, actually, in the gold department. Uh-oh. Carl getting dangerously low. They really want this tier 1 tower.
Mid tower took so much damage from the fall. Pretty much Carl has to. Quite low. Courier is not ill for use. Big problem for X. His lane is really killing massive. Underwork doesn't have pressure. The unit of ganks coming.
Right. I mean, look how aggressive he's playing against the Thunderlord, but again, he does so much damage with level 2 arcanes. And he's working on the Force as anticipated. On the other side of the map, there is a smoke. Magic Missile, Nando is in deep, but the rest of Geek fam are on their way. The Silence comes out and March is alive. He has the Purification. Too aggressive again from Execration potentially. They might lose Nando. He's gonna be chased down. I think they have a lift. They do. They're gonna pop Exorcism. They're gonna use it to push into the base. That's actually a really big kill.
They've actually managed to kill Marsh before he gets the heal on. Very surprising.
Yeah, that probably shouldn't have happened. But big kill. And it might actually slow this push down a little bit. You know, it's only level 1 DPLT.
heal or anything. Damn it. Probably not.
Ah, that damage is not doing a lot. That was like a full deep heal. There's just not enough damage between them.
Dire's bottom tower is
And,
under attack.
I don't know, this early game advantage that Execration had is kind of gone, but they do have a Shadow Fiend who's kind of free-farming, I guess. I mean, he's right with the DP. But you're right, the big issue is the OD. And I'm not sure what you do against him, other than maybe try to push or something, but...
OD's gonna have his 4 staff pretty soon. Hard to get. Alright, here it is. Good bomb.
Oh, you weren't kidding. You said here it is, and I didn't know you were discussing it. Referring to actually the OD dying, which I just barely missed.
Then, he was sitting behind the trees right here, waiting to come out, and he did.
Wait, which... Oh, these trees, I see. Okay.
That found the kill. Didn't expect it. And they have the siege. You gotta bring up the tequila.
Dude, they do so much damage to the Vengeance Sword. It's only level 2. But they won't get the tower. They don't have Helm of the Dom yet. Had they had that, maybe it's in deny range, if not taken out, right?
Sure. But he's about to pick it up right now after full.
Yeah. You pop the darkness. And then T's just finding a free lane bottom now instead of top. Like, alright, well, I died there. Played a bit safer by going bottom, even though I'm not sure how safe it actually is. If they rotate down here, they could probably kill him too.
There are a lot of heroes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, all these just might be dead. Swap, which puts him into tower range, which will kill him. And the nighttime comes, but they don't want to push into the tier 1, especially with Lumic TPing in. Nice kill. It's the free one. I don't even think they just swap, but they did it anyway.
They've had so many heroes up in this top lane for a long time. Big retreat.
They're gonna try to go for the push. Dude, it's great. He's about to use it too. Lumic's in a little deep, the purification comes out. They were not expecting the Omni to be there. They do get the tower. So I suppose it's not the end of the world. Had they forced Exorcism, it would have been even better. They're gonna find 2 though. I think they've got the Astron to track. Or no, it's Hondo. Goodbye. Well.
Man was on the way, but
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Base for Carl, I guess, theoretically.
Qual takes the tower. Pretty much not worth the rest. Basically tied with those these, so too shabby at all. But
Dire's structures are fortified.
yeah, I'm gonna take their own tower. This isn't
Dire's top tower.
Seen the power of level 1. It's not impressive.
It's pretty bad.
Tons of time. Carl's bottom lane. Farm waves, farm up the jungle, take every side of it.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
He's going SMY by the way. On the Shadow Fiend. Or Mansa, I guess. He was going SMY originally.
Apparently Southeast Asia is the only region still building mid. that might explain Mushi's Manta obsession.
He loves it. I love it so much. And it's not, doesn't work out for him in certain instances.
You know, I guess they're target bottom, but
Dire's top tower is under
even
attack.
if they get probably it's so tanky, quite the large.
Yeah. But he will be fine. Yeah, the Manta, I don't know, it still seems okay. I mean, it's not like, not the worst item in the game.
Exactly, there's a lot of things to move this game. Flow and the silence time.
Right.
Not too bad.
What you want when you get damage, you want to get damage, you want to get survivability. Manta style helps you out against balance. But you could just go Yasha BKB like a lot of players are doing on a couple of heroes, especially like Troll Warlord.
Mod, I don't appreciate it, Mod.
Okay. Good, I'm glad you're being real with me. I need it at this point.
Oh, it's not. You're totally on the ball there.
Wow.
Like, it's really good.
Oh, I know you. Listen, joking is not going to come across well right in my position right now. I'm sorry, God. I'm barely hanging on.
We got
2 games away.
There's an ogre frost mage.
Oh, you know how much I love that.
Makes you
it
happy.
does.
Yep. That probably puts the baby spot.
It sure does. They also have the shard golem, even better. Exactly. Although they actually have like real hands, I think, instead of the tiny that has like half a hand missing. That's true.
Now we know the lore.
And that's the important part. Alright. They've got a slight advantage for Execration, but the OD is the one that is carrying the load for Geek Fam. 7,200 net worth. He's got his blink right around the corner. He gets that item, they can start getting a bit more aggressive, especially with nighttime or this Night Stalker. And he's almost got Spirit Vessel too. The Omni Knight's been pretty shut down. He's actually only at 4.6k net worth. But all you really need is like one decent item like a pipe or something. And then just to get your GA and Purification and repels off these fights, and then you can win.
Small tank that you can get bulletproof off. But look at this daytime sneaking.
And then there's Firestorm. Yeah, it's dead. And there's nothing they can do about that.
Had to get nerfed much because of balance, which is pretty darn strong.
Yeah,
that's it right there.
Definitely Firestorm. Dark Rift seems pretty balanced. Pit Analysis seems pretty balanced. Dark Rift not so much. Or both Firestorm. Balance that'll be on to 1. They get a Earthquake on the 2. That's going to be a stolen Earthquake. Sandy's dropped down. They've got the ultimate coming in from the Omni Knight. Oh, Carl's getting low. That's the Aegis down now. This is a pretty good fight. They force back Dan. He's going to not get in time there, and they're going to leave the Shadow Fiend to die a second time in a row. And they probably get the kill, although Tron does fall at least, which is pretty huge for Carl. That's actually such a sick play that he just made. And he will still die with one more auto attack.
I actually think they did not need to take the Taxi Mod. I think they could have easily battled that. You know, Nando still has the swap, so once Shadow Fiend takes some damage, you know, you swap him out, reset, you might be able to get all 4 bases off. But yeah, they choose not to take that fight. They essentially forfeit the fight by using the Dark Rift fight back.
Right.
Carl still. Okay. Aegis advantage gone like that.
They, you know, it's really hard to judge that situation, though, right? I mean, you think your Shadow Fiend is strong, but you're not sure how strong he is. You're not sure what he can get done. And maybe there's a part of it that Geek Fam maybe just playing sloppily with the Swan Death Prophet instead of just backing up.
Especially with the Rift.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Firestorm. Golden Firestorm, I think. There's 2 different types of storms in this game, lightning and fire. I think people die, unless they BKBs. Yeah. So, a slight advantage for Geek Fam. I mean, it's really close, this game. I mean, it's back and forth.
Less than 1 gold lead after taking out the Execration built up. Once BKB's coming out of
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Especially.
Right.
Nowhere near close right now. They're getting the other items. Shadow Fiend coming. Still good items for. Flash working on it. Everyone's.
But you know, it kind of feels like this early game. I think the problem with Avenged Cores is that they don't scale very well because they can't farm that fast. Even with the Helm of the Dom and now the Force Staff. So I don't want to say they're on a timer, but it feels like they could have taken more towers. She could be more farmed, and she's really not. So they have to really kind of rely on Carl in a lot of these team fights, I think.
I feel like that's a result of losing the Aegis. So really, you can take this Roshan, control the map, take some tier 2 towers, and now it's all of a sudden difficult to take some team fights.
Right.
But yeah, you're right, Ben. Spirit, she falls off in the sense of keep up with Battlefield. Farming craftsman, all single target farming.
And so she's going to be playing from behind. The Omni Knight, in the meantime, is catching back up with the Midas, and of course is looking for kills to boot. He will link in. They've got the Vision. They've got Lumic. Nice pick. And
That's be nice.
that is perfect timing for Geek Fam. Getting some extra vision down. They still have to fight into Aegis, or excuse me, not Aegis, a pretty farm Shadow Fiend. I completely forgot Aegis was taken in that last fight. But it was.
What, you know what they say about nighttime?
What's that? It sure is, Brax. It sure is.
Vampire Man sees very well.
True.
Carl working on the PvP tech. Still working on the Hurricane Pike. I'm gonna keep clicking him and he's gonna be still working on the Hurricane Pike for train.
Yeah. Gotta take a while.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Chuan,
attack.
is he building into the Aeon Disc? He
Dire's
certainly is.
structures are fortified.
That's the enemy needs.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Can't rely on this Omni-Knight all the game. You have to actually build your own items.
Aeon just kind of
Dire's
changes how
bottom
the
tower
game.
has fallen.
Can't just try to blow everything.
Radiant's top tower.
Oh, they canceled the TP. Do they keep going? There is already one back, and that's going to be the OD. This game might just spiral out of control if they're not careful. Rubik's forced to buy back. Tier 3 taking a big assault. Here comes the Dark Rift. The Astral is up and ready. They're going to try to bring these zeros down, but they've got the Dark Rift in time. Forcing a buyback, forcing the TP rotations. Great play from Execration there.
Huge. I mean, we saw what happened just there when Execration can actually get to the tower. The tier 3.
Yeah.
He had the Vengeance Aura with the Alpha.
That might have been a crushing blow had they lost the tier 3 tower, but... And that's the issue playing against these Shadow Fiend lineups. Presence of the Dark Lord, Vengeance Aura, damage. Considerable. Hey, he almost got his Hurricane Pike. That's nice. He's not disassembling his Aquila for some reason, but that's fine. He might be dead here, actually. Good blink, good force. He is 100% dead. And just like that, they get it back. They don't, you know... They still have to keep the waves pushed, but uh-oh. Maybe Execration got to get jumped if they're not careful here in the mid lane, too.
Nighttime. Carl just making his way to the top lane. Look at him. He just runs straight there.
Yeah.
Full split push mode at the moment. BP has an Arcane Ring, but I'm going to use extra power. I assume she would anyway, so...
Right. But the Shadow Fiend can still push pretty quickly if they're not careful. I don't think he's going to, though. He's going to be back. And now there's no Rubik. Looks like they hold on this tier 2, I think. Yeah, they definitely do. I think so as well. I'm surprised they're able to hold on to that. It's the split push. The threat of it is too much, it looks like, for them to deal with right now.
They didn't want to get caught out in the mid lane. Back. Shadow Fiend walked, I don't know. Back. Execration smoked out.
They found them. They're going to get off the wave of tear, but there's no further follow-up. They've missed out on the magic missile. They didn't get the swap off in time. Instead of finding a Night Stalker, they find nobody because Astral Save is actually impossible to play against. And now Van walking high ground against no vision. A little dangerous, but he's so tanky that it doesn't really matter. And, yeah, I guess so. Well, danger might be what he's afraid of now, is he's getting dropped down, but they have the heavy center comer. They have maybe the initiation, the Shadow Fiend Requiem, the GA comes out there, there's the magic missile, the half HP Outwill Devour. Still pretty tanky, GA is about to end, and it does. Ludwig's kind of caught in the middle of nowhere. The Sanities will drop him down, he's dead for 42, and now the rest of the team has to run, they've caught Nando again. The team fighting from Geek Fam, if they're able to fight 5-on-5, it's good. It's just more so they need to avoid getting split pushed, and they did exactly that in that fight.
Yep, I definitely need to on the split push. Like Omni-Knight OD, you're not. Whenever you play against an Omni-Knight lineup like this, they're basically just trying to barrel down a lane, force the enemy. As long as Execration keep pushed, especially during debate. Carl in this back.
And this coming out. Edge jumping pretty aggressively. Baby Ollie's getting run down. They're going to get a couple of auto attacks and the Split Earth. Can they find March as well? He has no Purification or Repel. No GA to follow up with. They've taken him down. Underlord was betrayed. Quan and Skid all running up to the high ground. Chuan, excuse me, running back in for some reason. The Burrow Strike does catch onto the Night Stalker. This could be critical if they can find it. They need a Magic Missile. They've got to swap instead. That's better. Magic Missile does finally come out the splitter, and it's going to be 3 dead for this Geek fam team.
Roshan will respawn in.
Wow. Perfect timing. My goodness. But they'll find out pretty quickly. Carl's probably going to run into the pit. Send a Manta Illusioner.
Very nice play from Carl. Getting in this room with his freshly perked BKB. Kill out the Omni Knight and Roderick pretty much in. They're at the cradle. Oh. Good. Forward thing with this nice strike. Snag another one.
And so.
Look at this Manta style.
Radiant structures are
3
fortified.
damage.
Radiant's
I mean, they got
bottom
closed.
tower is under attack.
I need one auto attack from a Shadow Fiend. That thing's I think it's just going to deny it, actually. So much luck for those Shadow Fiend illusions. But 15,000 net worth for said Shadow Fiend. He is by far and away ahead in this game. He can get his BKB off. He can avoid a lot of that OD damage. Just surviving the Death Prophet ulti now. That might be a chore. Yeah, it's time to go. There's no vision here for Geek fam. It doesn't look like. Don't think they have any wards. They don't. Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Here they go, working on Roshan. Agents and Cheese.
Radiant
And they did scan, but Geek fam are so far away that by the time they get there, it's like they're not even halfway there, and Roche is done.
Is under attack.
Game has accelerated real quickly. Carl, hold up. Remember the network of Carver 2000 up. ODC, he's like, he's almost at his time. Especially with Omni.
Yeah, exactly. They really need that item. And they should have enough damage even with a Link Experience setup and like damage on him. I mean, OD doesn't really work that way anyway, so. Yeah, that's him in a nutshell. Sand King working on that Force Staff, and he's really close. He's actually almost got it. They need to get the stop lane pushed in, because if they can take the tier 3 and then just kind of go down the checklist. The one thing you don't want to do for Execration is not use this Aegis and Cheese, I think. Well, the Aegis specifically. You have to, I think, at this game.
You want to be able to use, especially when you have to be up on Shadow Fiend. As long as something doesn't happen, it should when you flop and 2 Force Staffs.
Right.
Everything should. They want some sort of a game. They want to kill a hero defending a tower, and then just siege states. They take those.
That should help.
The major issue. Sand King is going to be prime real estate for Execration. But it's going to be a slow few, I would say slow 2 minutes before they start sieging. Maybe 1 minute. It might not take that long, especially with the Steedy for Carl. They might just say, go, let's go now. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Playing this game. All inside. Huddling. Waiting for Execration to come knocking on.
And Shawan is safe because he has the Andis, or at least he should be. And that's half of his HP pool. That is Hurricane Bike down. I don't think they have any way of regenning him. They have like the Helm regen, I think. Great.
Push has been disrupted. That's that. Time to back it on up and reset.
Nope. Yeah, it takes some time. Maybe get the BKB for Nanda before they really commit to something. That means that they're going to have to wait for the Aegis to be gone, because Nanda takes a year and a half to farm anything. He's been sitting on Hurricane Pike Helm the Dominator for that last 6 minutes, I think, on this Vengeful Spirit. But he's somehow still ahead of the DP.
Farming on this Venge is not great. He has all the room to do so in the game, but target.
Takes a year.
Frost Mage.
Oh, does he have one? Too bad that's not going to help against the pure damage of the OD, because that's clearly what the issue is right now. Although Exorcism is going to be at least mitigated to a certain extent. They see the Death Prophet top, so they might think, okay, they're not smoking. Well, Van might get caught with his pants down. Yeah, they have the Astro to start the fight off. They have the Nightmare, or the Nighttime out of the Darkness. Silence, he can't Dark Grip. They need a Force. They need another one, and they do have it. But even that might not be enough as they drop the Sanities. They commit a lot to try to keep him alive, and if Lumik dies, it's even worse for them. They don't have buybacks. That's pretty critical for Radiant if they wanted to try to take high ground, but I don't know if they can. They do have Exorcism. Let's see if they can force out this tier 3 or something.
30 seconds. No, break.
Right, that's fair. They can go tier 2 top, although the wave's not pushed at all, because it's top lane.
Maybe they'll make it. Oh boy.
This is a very dangerous position for the Shadow Fiend to be in, but remember, it's dangerous and BKB on Rubik. He's going to pop one of them. They almost get the kill. They do take down the Rubik, but that's just the Rubik so far. Now, March has used a lot of his abilities. He has to GH. Juan has got the AI just popped. The Exorcism is going. They want a splitter, but the Repel gets out just in time, and that might be the time to back up. They swap him back. Never mind. Juan in trouble. Fear's keeping him alive. There's the Burrow Strike Purification. It's not in time, and that's going to be a dead hero. And now you've got to run in. This Owl Devourer is going to be next as well. The Lincoln Sphere does not save him. He couldn't get up the Force Staff in time. Are they gonna? They're gonna go bottom. Yeah, they're gonna bot it. They're gonna go bottom, and the Dark Grip might make it in time. It should, and it does. It is time to push for Execration.
You know the worst part about all these things.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not I.
Yeah, but the other thing is there's no Exorcism, right? He doesn't have a refresher shard. He's not even close.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Nice. That's a lot of atrophy, right?
Radiant's bottom tower
He hits like a truck.
has fallen.
But even out the
Radiant's middle tower is under
he
attack.
didn't go for the level 15. Went for the cast range instead, which makes a lot more sense. And they might just take 2 sets here. Hey, they're not going to use the buyback of the DP. It's too late already.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
There's the glyph. Yeah, the game explodes over, right? Carl has this full butterfly now. Everyone is super standard. Got 5,000 volts for the BP. Doing real Manta stuff today.
Radiant's top
Taking the
shrine
Satyr
is
Band,
under attack.
trying to.
Radiant's top shrine.
Oh, the
has
Purge.
fallen.
Yeah. The GA is going to be critical. All right, folks. 11k lead for Execration. They're hanging in there on the Geek Fam side. They lost 1 silver axe. It could have been 2. Wasn't, though.
Invisibility.
Now. Nando's gun. It's probably why butterfly.
Right.
It's OD has weight.
Yeah, that's... This MKB is never going to come out.
He always wants them.
He's ready to go.
False. And a good. Very good. You know, it's the team item. He wants to make sure that you can get that. It's a bit crazy. He charges him.
He has been doing that a few team fights. And they're going to just charge in top. All right, let's just take the Rex. Hurricane Pike has been manted by Carl. The Orcs will still fly, but he has a butterfly, so he's okay.
Been real nice about the man.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Fear nothing.
They're just going on the Rex. Let's get it standing his ground and actually kind of winning the fight against Carl. But there's the swap out. They have found March, who does get swapped in turn, but he dies anyways. That would have been sick had they stolen swap and actually kept him alive. He doesn't have buyback though, as he just fought Axe. He can't even get it off in the fight. That's pretty depressing in addition to game 1.
Axe on.
Radiant's top barracks.
Taxi man's here. All aboard, we're out. Just kidding. False alarm. Sticking around. They're gonna go for mid.
There's no buyback. There's no reason to be hasty here.
Death Prophet's gun. Like they're just gonna go take it out both.
Radiant's
You're
bottom
absolutely right. No
shrine
reason to
is
bet.
under attack.
Alright. 34 minutes in. Execration continue to
Radiant's
increase
bottom
their
shrine
lead.
has fallen.
With Roche being the next objective that's up in a minute and a half. Maybe what they need to finish this game.
I have Scotty pretty much complete on Carl Shadow Fiend. I know sitting on 3,500. Even less Shrek. He has a Shiva's Guard, 100 gold off for that. Everyone's getting for Geek Fam.
No.
Geek Fam new items to come back in this game mod. Maybe the smoke link. Got a neon tip.
And he's got a Shiva's Guard on a supportless rack. Now the Scotty up to the Shadow Fiend. Aeon Disc is going to go for the tracks, and they're going to turn fight potentially. This BKB is, I think, a 10-second BKB. It's a 9-second BKB action for the Night Stalker. He's getting chased by the Lesh, so he's out of the fight, but so is his Underlord. Burrow does hit, but the Lincoln Sphere is going to block it. Skid getting auto-attacked down. They did finally get the Night Stalker on the other side of the fight, but this is probably more important. Here comes the ultimate from Twan. He's going to stand and fight with the Aeon Disc. Sandpiece comes out, but I don't know if it hit on anybody. It killed Grim. I'm not sure that's big enough. They steal Requiem. But here comes that Epicenter. Good astral save so far. Ollie's still getting man-fought by the Shadow Fiend. Jesus pops. Nando's still manning it up and fighting. He's going to try to find the match missile, but he can't quite get it. And actually, kind of turning for Geek Fam. It's a 3-for-3, but now this OD is in trouble. The Hurricane Pike comes out. They have the Wave of Terror. Can't quite catch him. They don't have a blink for the Shadow Fiend, so chasing him down is going to be tricky at the very least, and it will be impossible. It looks like he has a piece of safety. Well, that was about as good of a fight as they could have gotten for Geek Fam, I think.
Now they've got creeps pouring into the base, and so boss.
It's the big guy.
Got the boss. Like
pressure shards up. Wave of Terror. This will make this quick with the Solar Crest to boot. My God. The refresher shard, so that means double BKB for Shadow Fiend if he's the one to pick it up. They could go for double swap, which would be awkward. Nah, I don't think that'll happen.
can't wait to see double swap.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shadow Fiend to back. I'm gonna assume the hold it. Look at.
He just sits like a truck. Yeah, he's gonna hit like a truck even more now. And I don't know how they deal with a 25,000 net worth Shadow Fiend who uses his items correctly in every single fight. Like, in all the fights in the past 10 minutes, he's popped his items in the correct order.
Playing very well. He plays with confidence, right? He just strolls on it, marches into the fight, but presses that black bar button. Like they're gonna go for the loop play. The bottom
They're going all the way in. Night Stalker actually is fast enough to cut them off. The Shadow Fiend walks background. He's in. He is in. Good astral save. They do a purification. Carl's gonna stand and deliver. They get off a nice ultimate, but it's not enough to bring down the Shadow or the Night Stalker. They do eventually kill him. They do refresh. Carl still has Aegis. Double raise gets himself another kill. That's March dying. He has to buy back. But Twan of the Aeon Disc. The Epicenter is going to get channeled and goes, but it doesn't do that much. Although Twan, he's just down. There's not anything he can do. There's just too much damage, too many sources. A triple kill for Execration on Carl, as well as on another hero. And they're going to dive fountain, and this is going to be GG. Execration, they really just, they sat on the back of Carl's Shadow Fiend Brax, and he just carried them to victory.
Carl is the man. I've learned that for the past one. Dota is got.
Well, we made it through our 5th game with 1 game to spare. We have